Well, welcome everyone to today's Feed Your Mind session, where we are talking today about some different types of marketing. And we're going to be talking about a platform that I'm kind of interested in hearing more about. It's one that's been around for a long time, but I don't think it's been used very well in marketing purposes. It's my favorite platform to go to just for regular communication back and forth. But Barb Breezer is here with Purple Gator, and she's going to tell us more about that. So we'll get into that in a moment. I do also want to introduce Holly Jacobson, who is here with us today. MediaCom Business is our sponsor for the Feed Your Mind series. And so, Holly, I'd like to invite you if you've got a few words you'd like to say about MediaCom Business.
I do. It's nice to see everybody, by the way. Feels like I've been kind of left out and haven't seen everyone. So I know we're not able here at MediaCom to do face-to-face yet, but slowly but surely we will be transitioning back to that. And I'm anxious to actually see everyone in person here shortly. What I want to talk about with MediaCom Business itself is, which I didn't even realize over these, I don't know how many of these I've done with you, I have never actually spoke about what I specialize in for MediaCom Business. So outside of your like small business bundle with your internet, phone, video, the new advanced data security I've talked about, the fiber that I can do, all of that good stuff, I specialize in bulk services. That is what I do, okay? On top of everything else, that is my specialty. That is it. So what that does is anyone who owns more than 15 units, like a property manager, property owner, I'm talking like townhomes, condos, apartment complexes, anything over that 15 units that I mentioned, I can offer MediaCom service at a highly discounted rate per unit. With that being said, anyone who currently has services with us in those units can still retain those services. But if they have more than what those property managers or property owners want to purchase from us on a bulk account, they can get, those residents can get that upgrade for just the $10 additional for each tier upgrade. So it's a win-win for both property managers and tenants. So that's just a real brief description of what I do on the bulk side. So if you know anyone, this does include like anyone who is in assisted living, nursing homes, so parents, grandparents, anyone, you even have college kids in a dorm, let me know. I'm more than happy to visit with those property managers and owners and see what we can do.
All right, wonderful. That is good to know, Holly. I had no idea.
Yeah, for some reason, yeah.
All these years we've known you. I mean,
yeah, I know, right?
Holding out on us. No. But yeah, definitely thank you to MediaCom Business for being a sponsor for the Feed Your Mind series. This has been a wonderful series, and it's been great to have MediaCom Business be a partner with this series. So what I'd like to do now is introduce Barb Breezer, and she is the Vice President of Purple Gator. You got to see Barb's biography if you looked at the registration page, and Barb has spent a number of years in advertising and in that industry. And I think she started when she was like 3 or 5, something like that, Barb. It sounds about right. And you can definitely read what she's been involved in, advertising, trade shows, social media. She helps clients generate traffic with leads and online sales. But the interesting things about Barb are that when she's not working, she actually does do things apart from Purple Gator. She likes to search out local garage sales, thrift stores. She likes to dine out at local restaurants as well. So there are definitely some things that we can share as we talk about favorite restaurants. But Barb, I am very excited to hear what you're going to be talking about today. And we mentioned earlier that feel free as you have questions like we've done in the past. If you've got questions about things that Barb talks about today, there are definitely going to be questions, I'm sure. Feel free to put those in the chat. I'll be watching the chat. We'll make sure that we get answers to your questions. If they appear timely to what Barb's talking about, I may interject and we'll try to get those answers to you right away. Otherwise, we'll try to catch all of your questions before we end for today. So
Great.
Barb, I'm so excited to hear what you're going to share with us today.
Right, well, I think I'll share my screen, huh? Share. From the beginning. All right.
Good morning. Today we're
Uh-oh.
going to talk about.
No, I don't want to
text
stop. I don't want to share that one. One moment, please. Shoot, I recorded one. I am so sorry. Hang on. Let's go with this one, all right? Slideshow from the beginning. All right. So thank you, Fuse Des Moines, for including me in your Feed Your Mind series. Today, we're going to talk about text message marketing, reaching people in their pockets.
You're still
You
not
can-
sure yet, Barb.
You can see my screen, correct?
Not yet.
No. Well, how about that? Let me try that again. So, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulty. This one.
Oh, I remember when all these Zoom calls just started and we were all horrified when something didn't happen. And now we're all just like,
Yeah, like, oh yeah, whatever. Okay. On the
Do
current
it all
slide.
the time.
All right. So this again. Now can you see me?
Now we see you.
We're all good. All right. Thank you, Fuse Des Moines, for including me in your Feed Your Mind series. Again, my name is Barb Breezer. I work with Purple Gator. We are a marketing agency with a mobile first focus. Today, we're going to talk about text message marketing and how to reach people right there in their pockets. Before we get started, you can text the word Iowa. Do I need to move you guys? Can you see me seeing you? There, go away.
Okay.
No, over here?
We can see you, yes.
Where do I put you? I don't do a lot of Zooms. Anyway, text the word Iowa, IOWA, to 84444. And you could, for your chance to win a Purple Gator swag bag. This is everything Purple Gator does. I'm not going to go over all of it. You can look at it later, but you can see that we are a full service marketing agency with a mobile first focus. We do video, we do search engine optimization, pay-per-click, text message marketing, some voice products, something called Gator Reviews, Gator Local. I am more than happy to talk to you about any of these services if you want to learn more. Well, with text message marketing, the primary reason you want to do it is you don't want to leave money on the table. The facts are more than 95% of text message are received that are, are read within 5 minutes of receipt, and 90% are read within 3 minutes. Texting has a 98% open rate. Compare that to any open rate you're currently getting with email marketing or anything else. And text message marketing is absolutely something you should be adding to your services. There are actually 5 types of messaging. SMS, or short message service, is what you do back and forth with friends. It's also what a business can do with you in a purely text format. MMS is another way that a business can market, and that includes the multimedia, whether it is a video or pictures or a series of pictures with links where people can shop right from their phone. RCS is rich communication services. Last week when I traveled to the East Coast, I showed them my boarding pass from my phone. That is actually called RCS. There's a product we'll talk a little bit more called text to landline. And text to landline is where you enable a legacy phone. And it is, people are probably trying to text that number and you don't even know it. So you can find out if your phone number is able to be text enabled, and then people can answer it from their computer. And finally, there's OTT, which stands for over the top. And those are the other types of messaging services, whether it's Snapchat or WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook Messenger and some of the other ones. So as a business owner, you're going to ask, which one should you use? Here's SMS versus MMS. SMS, remember, is text only, and MMS has the picture or video. SMS is universal to all the phones. It's 160 character limit. Text messages only. You have tap through links, and it's better for informational type posts. MMS won't work on all feature phones. And that means a feature phone is a flip phone, for example. They have a 500 kilobit by data limit, but you can use engaging multimedia and rich media. It's great for images. It's better for promotion. It needs to be tested on the various platforms before we use it. All right. SMS, there's two types of codes. There's one called a shared short code, which you've probably been using, where you opt in with 5 or 6 digits. Again, an example here is the work we do with Felix and Oscars here locally. You can text the word Felix to the number 84444, and their opt-in message will show up, and you're going to get a free pizza for joining their program. Their shared short codes are easy to remember, but one of the negatives is the best keyword might be taken. On 84444, the word pizza is probably already taken. So another pizza company that wants to use the shared short code can't use the word pizza. They don't usually provide replies, and they stuck to the consumer. They feel like they're coming from a bot. These do work on most carriers, and there's the danger of being turned down if others send spam. And that is why they're being phased out by the various carriers. It was supposed to be in March of this year, and now I believe it's later in the year that shared short codes will no longer be available. And the reason for that is if someone uses that shared short code and starts to send spam, the carriers turn off everybody. So if there was a spammer that was on 84444, Felix and Oscars would be turned off for text message marketing because someone else on that shared short code was spamming. And this is shared short codes can only be used for texting in the United States. What we're moving to is a private long code and an example of MMS, which is the multimedia. So the first text just said, welcome to the club. You could also text the word Felix to the toll-free number 855-85-FELIX, right there. The 10-digit number makes it appear national. And because you have your own unique number now, all the keywords are available because nobody else is using your number. You can actually use it for phone calls. And the texts feel like they're coming from a person. If somebody's opted in and they get that message, they can actually save it to their phone and create a contact and know that the message is coming from that business. It's better one-to-one communication for any kind of customer service or sales. And as opposed to the short codes, you can do international texting if you have clients in Canada. These are going to work on all carriers, including all 3-tier carriers. There's no danger of being turned down or shut off if you follow the rules. If your particular provider gets out of the business, you can take your number and move it to a new provider. And it's gonna, the throughput is gonna improve over time. And this is actually the future of text message marketing, is the 10-digit private code. Opt-in, I'm sure you've seen these before on anything that you've joined. The United States only requires a single opt-in, whereas Canada requires a double opt-in. This is the #1 question I get. Can I just go buy a list of phone numbers, or I have this big list of phone numbers? Can I text them all? And the answer is right there in front of you. Don't do it. And here's why. The FCC bans messages that are sent to a mobile phone using an auto dialer, unless you have permission to text them. The TCPA is the Telecommunications Consumer Protection Act, which says a business must have express written consent to send text messages. And then you always have to include the information which says text stop to stop and text help for help. All right, somebody else wants to come in. Remember, text to win, text the word Iowa to 84444, and you could win your Purple Gator swag bag. My question to you is, can you see my screen so that you see the list of all the people and you can't read all the words, or can you guys see everything on my screen?
We can see everything on your screen.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right. So we talked about text to landline. There's a product called Text to Landline Pro, and that is easy to use. You can respond to text via your computer rather than the small screen of a mobile phone. And also you're using your company number and not your personal cell phone number. So when you're texting back and forth with a potential customer or an unhappy customer, or texting with somebody who's interested in learning more about your services, you're using the legacy landline instead of your own mobile phone number. Artificial intelligence can respond to certain keywords received and provide an automatic response. You can do broadcast text messaging once people are in. to the system. You can notify your customers and prospects with mass texting, such as, we're closing the offices and all working from home because of COVID. We're closing today because of an ice storm. If you happen to be in Iowa, that's happened a couple times this last year. The benefits are you're not going to lose any leads. You can offer superior customer service, and you're going to communicate the way that a portion of your audience or maybe all of your audience wants to communicate. And that's by using text messaging. We, Purple Gator, do a lot of recruitment advertising for our clients. And we know that 90% of agencies using SMS have claimed that it's helped their business to grow. On the left there, we worked with O'Reilly's for a while, and you could text ORA2, and then they were promoting that in some of their stores that they were hiring. And that little link right there took them directly to a particular hiring page for that store's location. We also, I call it BC, before COVID, 2019 BC, we did a lot of hiring events for clients. And in that case, we texted the client, we texted the candidates a couple of days before the hiring event and said, don't forget the hiring event is at our location, and gave the address, maybe Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. And by texting them, we were able to send them a link, so it hyperlinked right to the address, so that it pulled up their navigation system and it drove them right to the event. Can I collect money via text? If you are a nonprofit 501c3, you can, in fact. There's a product called Text to Donate. This isn't for like the band or the football team that's trying to raise money. It needs to be a pretty significant size business. 501c3 works well with public television or a charitable organization that has employees and a marketing budget. And if you want to learn more, you can go to purpledata.com/text to donate, and there's some slashes or dashes in there, as you can see. If you are you convinced? Are you not convinced? Here's the benefits. You're going to increase your sales. You can increase attendance at events. You can send out timely updates. You can send urgent and emergency notifications right away. You can notify your best customers about a flash sale. Say, you know, from 3 to 5 on Thursday, and you send it out on Wednesday, or you send it again on Thursday, from 3 to 5 p.m. for our VIPs, we're having this offer. Imagine if you're a restaurant and you see that nobody's there. You could say, you know what, come in and get half price appetizers. It's going to be for your most loyal customers, and you can say, we're doing it today, and you send it out to your list. And you can reward your most loyal customers in a number of different ways. Let's talk about 14 different ways that you can use text message marketing. And you're going to meet your audience where they spend the most time. The last study I read said that people have their mobile phones within 2 feet of them for 22 out of 24 hours in the day. And you think about where your mobile is with you most of the time. So you can send a welcome message. You can use texting for sales and promotions, like get 20% off. Again, this is to your most loyal customers. You can use texting for event invitations. Join us for a live webinar, for example. And you can send out status updates. Check out our updated store hours, especially now when everything is changing. As you are more open, as people can come back to the office, as you are now allowing people to come into the office, etc. For lifestyle and community, just let people know what's going on within your organization. You know, every text doesn't have to be a special offer. It can be an update. It can be a congratulations. It can be just talking about what's going on inside your community. You can use text message marketing for booking confirmations. Hey, we'll see you, March 17th at 3 p.m. And you can use it for appointment reminders. Your appointment's tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Billing reminders. Security codes. This is your security code. It's your verification and it expires in 15 minutes. We've probably all gotten some of those. Internal updates. Remember, when you set up a text program, set up one for in-house, for your employees, as opposed to the customers, so that you can notify your team of something important. Volunteer opportunities. Nonprofits often have opportunities for volunteers, and you can tell people if they're interested in volunteering to text a certain keyword, and then you can let them know when the opportunity exists. Maybe there's a Habitat for Humanity build this weekend, and a team of people might want to go and do that. You can use text message marketing for customer support. How can we assist you? And again, loyalty coupons. Remember, these are the people that have given you permission to market to them, to send them offers. And finally, for recruitment, now I made this up. There is not a job fair. Please don't go. But maybe there's a job fair on June 15th from 4 to 7 at Prairie Meadows, and you give them the address. That's going to hyperlink in the text, and they'll show up. So here's a few case studies for companies that offer beauty products, restaurants, retailers, and nonprofits. Ulta Beauty, they're a chain of beauty retail stores, and you can opt into their service. Their messages tell people about online and store promotions, offers, and discounts, but also the latest news in beauty. Remember, every text does not have to be an offer. And then their messages often include links to the products described. If you're doing SMS, which is the one without a picture, remember you're limited to 160 characters. So if you're going to include a link, you're going to want to use a link shortener. Maybe use a program like Bitly. So if you Google Bitly, you'll see you can get a free account, and it helps you take a long URL and it's going to shorten it so that it will fit in a text message. It might only be 10 or 11 characters. So it's Bitly. It might even be bit.ly now, but you can Google Bitly and you can get to there. Urban Decay, the cosmetics brand, the picture does catch your attention right away. So that's they use MMS marketing to show off and sell their products. They use a lot of bright colors, very conversational tone. You can see that they're using some capital letters there. It ends tonight, no code needed, go get it. A lot of their messages include coupons and updates on the latest deals, etc. Restaurants, we talked about Felix and Oscar's. Papa John's also has a text program you can opt into, and a lot of their texts offer 2 large topping pizzas or 2 large pizzas for a special price. In their case, sometimes the text message lines up exactly with a local advertising campaign they might be doing for the same thing. Other companies offer more to their text customers because they know it's a limited group, and that person comes in and shows the text, and then they get the offer. And text messages from Papa John's usually include a promo code. Subway is also using it. They do calls to action such as order now, but they're also, if you read this one, it says, we're stepping up for frontline workers and communities with our partnership with Feeding America. So they let people know some of the philanthropic efforts that they're doing along with an offer for their products. Retail, again, promoting specific discounts and items, and they use SMS, important information like operation changes and as the store hours have changed. Steve Madden uses SMS and MMS both to alert new style alerts, restocking alerts, special promotions. You can cross market with this. You can use your SMS people and tell them if they want to join the email list, give them a link to have them join your email list. You want them to follow you on Facebook, you can give them a link to tell them to interact with your social media. So you can use text message marketing also to cross promote. And Steve Madden encourages online shopping. For the nonprofits, PETA, which is People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, has 6.5 million members and supporters, and they use their SMS to communicate updates and campaigns with their advocacy program members. And then the Humane Society, they use both SMS and MMS to send people updates. They send news and invitations to special events, and then also information on how people can help protect animals. It's really easy to get started. Just sign up for an account. You can Google SMS text message marketing providers. You're going to get your own toll-free number. Remember, that's yours and yours alone. So you have available all those keywords. You want to make a plan. When you sign up, make a plan. How are you going to use it? And then you're going to want to use the scheduling tools. Have an emergency plan. Have one person who is going to be the primary scheduler and user and in charge of your text message marketing. You always want to have an emergency plan. Now, a lot of us never thought about that until COVID hit. What are we going to do? Are things open? Are they closed? You know, during the demonstrations that happened, one of the demonstrations and protest gathering places was the parking lot near Merle Hay Mall. Felix and Oscars happens to be facing the parking lot at Merle Hay Mall. So did they want to stay open? Did they want to close? Did they want to let people, their customers, know that they're closed? And they were able to have that emergency plan in place and be able to schedule and send out those messages appropriately and send them. You can schedule them and you can send them in real time. You want to make your keywords easy and memorable. The example that I use is lawnmower. Is it one word or two? A keyword should be one word. It should be easy to remember and easy to spell. If you use a cute, different spelling for something, autocorrect on the phone may just fix it as the person hits send, and then they haven't sent the proper keyword to opt in. And then once you've decided to do text message marketing, go all in, promote that number. You want to share your number to start building your list, and you want to promote your program benefits. Promote your keywords. You want to put it everywhere. So on printed materials, you want to put it anywhere you can put it. Felix and Oscars used a Facebook campaign because they have over 8,000 people on Facebook to say, join the VIP club. And they promote, or actually BC, they promote it every week, and we're getting back to starting to promote again. One of my favorites was this one on a luggage rack, the luggage, what do you call that? The belt thing that takes the suitcase after you get to an airport. And it says, you're not done flying yet, cowboy. You could win a ski trip to Jackson Hole. And they had that on the belt there. We did work with M&Ms through another agency, and you could text the word vote, and you got to choose between jalapeno, coconut, or English toffee, which was some of the M&Ms that rolled out this past year, and you got to vote on which was your favorite flavor. By the way, English toffee won by a landslide. So you want to grow your database, and the way you're going to do that is all of these things and more through outside advertisements, print, direct mail, on your radio and TV commercials, any kind of online ad. You want to put it we want to put it prominently on the company website. Mention it in your blogs. Have a pop-up on the website where people can actually sign up from the web and give permission to be texted. You want to mention it in your digital and mobile ads. You can put it on your pens. You can put it on any kind of promotional product you have. You want to talk about it on your social media posts. You want to talk about it on YouTube. You can put it in your social media header. Excuse me, an online ordering page, other emails, your email signature. You put it on your business card. You can have it on the receipt that you hand to your customers. In-store and out-store signage. You can put it on the back of a pizza box. You can put it on the back of staff t-shirts. You can make it on your tabletop. I've seen it on bathroom stall ads. I've also seen it on the back of delivery trucks. To join the text club and learn more. It's easy to get started, you guys. You can start for as little as $25 a month. And the way that this is sold is by credits. Most companies charge by credit. And keep in mind that MMS is about 3 times more than just a plain text that you would send out. But you can test and measure and see, which one gave you a better response, the one that had the picture or the one that didn't have the picture, and then you'll know. And then most companies provide a certain number of credits that you have to use each month. I don't think any of these companies roll over the credits. You have a certain number of credits that you pay for each month, and that's what you get. And then if you want to grow, the beauty of it is, like our company doesn't have a yearly contract. You pay what you pay. And then if you end up getting as your database grows, you pay a little bit more, but that's good news, right? You've got more people who have opted in to know about your specials, your offers, and information from your company. This is probably the strongest database that you can build. Now you're only charged for outgoing messages. So the example I gave of actually Iowa that you were texting to 84444. Did somebody give me the winner yet? Bob is supposed to give me the winner.
We do have a winner. Are you ready for the winner yet?
I'm ready for the winner.
It was Maylee.
Hey, yay. All right, so we'll get your mailing address, Maylee, from probably from Trish, and send you a purple gator swag bag. Congratulations. Yay. All right, so Maylee, yay. All right, so you're only charged for the outgoing message. So when you sent your message into Iowa for 84444, the provider, you're not being charged, but the reply message is where you get charged. So anytime anybody replies to the message, you get charged. That is absolutely incorrect. Let me start over again. You are charged for the messages that you send out only. So whether you send just a plain text message or an MMS, that's when you are charged. And keep in mind that some providers are going to charge for keywords. What just happened? Here we go. Any questions? Can we open it up for questions other than I find out that Maylee said yuck on the jalapeno M&Ms?
I'm going to jump in with a question, Barb. I'm sure
Okay.
other people are kind of thinking this too. So $25 to get started buys me a certain number of credits. What's the cost per credit? It's usually around a penny, isn't it?
It depends on the provider. All right. So for $25 with us, for example, you get 500 credits. All right. It just depends on the provider. It depends on how easy their platform is to use. So you might want to shop around. Some of them are less expensive, but you really have to know what you're doing. Others are a lot more user-friendly. So you can get right in and be an expert in 10 minutes. So it does depend on that. But $25 seems to be a pretty reasonable expense to get started.
And 500 credits can go a long way. So
It can go a long way.
very reasonable.
Sure. Anybody else?
We've got a question that just popped in. Is there a maximum number of credits? What are you thinking, Maylee? Like $5,000 you want to jump in, or?
Not. I don't know that I've bumped in. Oh, I can't hear
her. She typed it in chat. I don't know if she's.
Well, she's trying to talk and then I can't hear her. So
okay.
Can you unmute her? I don't think I have I don't have the wizard power to unmute Maylee.
Maylee, you look unmuted, but we can't hear you.
I don't believe there is a maximum. Okay, now we've had some where we've sent out like 50,000. So.
Yeah, Maylee's saying her computer won't allow her to speak. But okay.
All right. She says it's my computer. Bob says the larger the package, the cheaper per text. All right, and he would know. So. Anybody else have questions?
Terry asks, is there a way to text one-to-one from your PC?
Yes. The one-to-one texting from your PC comes primarily from text to landline. And Bob knows more about that, so I'm going to ask him and he can give me the answer in chat. One-to-one from a PC. Is that text to landline only, Bob? Well, there's also something called a chat bot. And the chat bot can be, it says you can interact with consumers on the text site. So you can text one-to-one, you can text that one number. All right. The other thing you can do is a chat bot, which is another way of communication through your social media. So as Bob says, you can do one-to-one or one-to-many. So you can do a broadcast, or you can in fact do one-to-one from your computer from that number. Again, that 10-digit number is your own personal number for text message marketing.
I'm sure we've all seen some chat bots on websites or on somebody's Facebook page. Yeah.
Not for profit, if we only want to spend a set amount on X number of credits, can we set it so that it will not receive any more? You can receive as many as you want, Maylee, and you don't get charged for them. You only get charged for the outgoing ones. But as people opt in, the reply message is what you get charged for, if that makes sense, because you're sending the reply message back out. So I believe you can set that you just don't want to spend anymore. Just set a cap on that. Bob? A 401c4, I don't know. He says, yes, no problem. We love Bob. Yes, no problem. Yes, you can set the cap, and then you don't have to worry about any, you say, I only want to spend $500 and that's all I want to spend, or it's, I only want to spend $100 and that's all I want to spend for this, for this month, right? Okay. Anybody else have questions?
So for instance, us as a chamber, and you might be a little bit more aware, I don't know if other chambers are using this right now in the Des Moines area. Do you know of that, whether they are or not?
They're not using it through me.
Okay, and the only reason I ask that, I mean, it doesn't matter if they are or not. I just, my thing is, we would probably at first limit just ours to our chamber members instead of our larger, we have thousands and thousands that opt into the chamber to get the information, but we would probably want to start out with just our members and
Correct.
send it. Okay, so
Correct.
we would send out, take the number of members and then the number of, let's say we wanted to do 2 a month or something. Then that's what we would need for credits, right?
You would need to sign up for that number of credits, yes, and then be deciding, remember, are you only going to do a text or are you going to do the MMS? Because if you're going to do something with a picture, you need 3 times more credits.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
So you could also do one for people in the membership. Do you only want to be notified when there's a ribbon cutting, or do you only want to be notified when there's a lunch coming up? And have them text a specific keyword to be notified about a specific thing. Or if they just want general information about the chamber, then they could just text Fuse to that number and they could be notified.
Excellent.
All right.
Yes, I love that. And for those of you that are on the call now that weren't on earlier, is, that's one of the biggest things that most businesses are dealing with right now, is not only looking for alternatives to social media where there's no engagement or public engagement, because there's so much going on social media that they don't want to have that back and forth. So they're looking for different ways to market, but also because the email open rates, everybody here knows that people are not reading their emails. It seems like since COVID hit, we all are getting 5 times the number of emails in our inboxes just for everybody to stay connected. And it's too much. And so open rates for marketing are going down overall. And it's interesting because emails have been around for how long now? And they say that it's the primary way to market. And I believe that it still is, but you just can't put all your eggs in one basket anymore, whether it's social media or email.
And I will tell you, I don't know about any of you, but I've gotten a few messages while we're on this call that show up on the lock screen on my phone. I can tap my phone. One of the ones I subscribe to is Bed Bath & Beyond. And I know that I've got a coupon and I can send a number to their service right here and I can get a coupon again because it's going to expire soon. And it shows up. So the text message shows up on the lock screen of someone's phone. So I've read that message. Whether or not I interact with it, whether or not I go and I take the action they want me to take, Bed Bath & Beyond is in my brain because I've seen that message while we're having this conversation.
And Barb, you were just talking a moment ago, and Trish was mentioning too, how messages could be sent out if people wanted specific information from the chamber. But I think that's a great point to say that even within our businesses, you can even segment your customers who are signed up for your text, maybe they only want certain services or only want to be notified about certain things, or, maybe you've got offers for women and offers for men. So segmentation, I think, is another great point.
It's sort of like segmenting your email marketing, but a whole lot easier. Yeah. And you really want, like I said before, if you do this, you want to be all in. You want to take that number and you want to promote it everywhere so that you get people opted in to learn more about your product or service. Trish, in your case, I would do members and employees, or members and ambassadors. All right. So if I am an ambassador, I would also want to opt in as with the keyword member, so that I would get the member information you're sending out, but I would also get the information as an ambassador. And we sent out reminders all the time for all the ribbon cuttings, and that is how we started to really build the number of people that went to the ribbon cuttings. They said, absolutely, I look forward to the reminder because it shows up 2 hours before I'm supposed to go with an address of where I need to be. And it was so helpful in increasing that kind of attendance.
Yes, I loved it. I was at the West Des Moines Chamber back when you were the chair for our ambassadors. And so I do remember that. No, it's genius. It really is. And I know, again, we were looking at doing that. And back then it was probably 5 years ago now, 6, maybe 7. But back then it was just the younger generations that wanted to do the text marketing. We couldn't get enough to opt in at the West Des Moines Chamber, but now all these years later, it's changed. I mean, and now almost everybody is looking at the text marketing, or they read their text where they don't necessarily read their emails. So
sure, it's easy just to scroll through like this,
Yep, I do. I opt into all texts, and usually it's because they offer something, like, hey, 15%, and then I use that for whatever I'm ordering, and then all of a sudden I'm locked into it. But it jogs me, whenever I get them. I get Ultas,
Sure.
So I like them.
And then the slide that's not here is it really is easy for somebody to opt out. They can text the word stop and they're done. Right? Then they don't get it anymore. So it's super easy to opt out if you no longer need that service. Maybe you opted in at a pet store that had great dog food and you don't have dog anymore. You just text stop and you don't need to get those messages anymore.
Now, if somebody signs up with Purple Gator, now do you come out, or somebody come out to help them set up and do things that they're supposed to do? Is that service offered, or?
It could be, although it's not necessary. It's that easy.
Is it that easy? Well, you're talking about me.
No, it's
not
really,
that I would be doing it, but
it's really that easy to just go in, set it up, and start to send. And you want to send a couple tests at first. So you'll opt in, and a couple people in the office will opt in, and you'll try it, and you'll go, oh, this really is that easy.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Barb. And you mentioned also that you were going to put something on SlideShare a little bit later because you had lists of things. So we would be able to refer to those lists later. Is that correct?
Just this, yeah, I'm going to put this whole thing out there. So, okay, Bob is saying, he's chatting back and forth here. He says,
Bob is chatting with Chris.
Oh, okay. And
Chris has technical difficulties with her phone. So Bob's been chatting with her.
All right, perfect. And then, all right.
Yep.
Okay, that's not anything we need to talk about. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. If you guys if you have questions, and Trish, I did work to make this not a sales presentation for Purple Gator, but just an informational session for people to understand more about what's out there, right? But if you do have questions or concerns about this topic, again, like you said, Daniel, we'll put this up on SlideShare, but you can call me or send an email to Barb at Purple Gator. If it's more technical, send it to Bob at Purple Gator. Bob started this business 30 years ago in the telecom side. All right, he started with 800 and 900 numbers, not the naughty ones. It was all about sports, and it was all about sports before the internet, before any other ways to get quick updates and quick information. All right, so you could dial a 900 number and pay by the minute and get what you needed to know, that information. And then we moved, they killed it with, you remember when you used to subscribe to ringtones? Some of you who are older used to pay a subscription. You could change the ringtone so you had certain music or it did something fun, all right? They killed it in the ringtone business. And so we've always been leading edge on telecommunications, and we've had text for just about as long as text has been around. So we are really knowledgeable about how this works. We are knowledgeable about the TCPA. The reason you can't just import any old list you want and send it out to people as spam is if they report you as spam and they decide to hire a lawyer, they can get between $500 and $1,500 per unsolicited text. So you don't want to do that. You want to have people who've opted in, gave you permission to communicate with them by text.
Yeah. Well,
right.
Barb, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing this information with us today. This has been very interesting. This has been a very informative session. And of course, that's the whole point. It's feed your
All right.
mind. So
Yeah.
this has been
Okay.
wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, I'd like to remind everyone on the call today, or if you're watching this video, do check the Fuse Des Moines calendar of events that's coming up. If you're watching this today, if you're here with us live, don't forget we have a Fusing the Community event that's happening this afternoon at Kelly's Little Nipper. So stop by and I hope to see you there. And make sure you look on the calendar next month. We've got a ribbon cutting for Penny Carroll. We've got another ribbon cutting. We've got the monthly luncheon is coming back. We're going to be in person. Can I see some hands there waving? Yay, we're going to be back in person. And and the golf event is coming up too. So make sure that you're looking ahead at the calendar so you can see what you want to attend and where you should be next. That's what calendars are good for. They always tell me where to go and what to do next.
There you
So,
go.
yeah,
Thank
with that, yeah, once again, thank you to MediaCom Business for being our sponsor for the entire series. And thank you, Holly, for being here today and updating us on what exactly it is that you do. So, of course, we've got some time here if we want to stick around. I don't know if Trish has any other announcements she'd like to make, but certainly you're welcome to move on with your day as well.
No, just that, you know, obviously next month, it's actually set for June 30th, but I just firmed it up today. So our next Feed Your Mind will be in person. It will be on June 30th. So we'll get that information out, but pretty much after this, I don't believe we have anything online anymore. So it's pretty exciting. It's been hectic as we've, you know, pivoted back to the online or back to the in-person, but it is exciting. So yeah, I don't know that we'll do another one online. These seminars, they're great. People they love to get the recording afterwards. You know, I mentioned that at the beginning. We actually have more people that requested this recording than could actually be here today. So it is kind of hit or miss. We'll get that information out, but you know, I won't say that we'll never not do an online one again. It works for some people, but I'm excited to see you all in person. So
Trish, is
Barb,
it okay?
you threw something else up there, Barb?
I did, our parting gift, all right?
But wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah, well, I actually have a slide in some of my, it's the little finger that goes up and says, but wait, there's more, yeah. So this is the top 10 text messaging tips from the book Relevance Raises Response, which happens to have been written by Bob Bentz, who is the CEO of our company. RelevanceRaisesResponse.com is available on Amazon. Right. So start your message with action verbs like buy or come. Capitalize, as we saw in some of those things, capitalize the most important word. Limited quantity, the first 10 texters. If you need to identify a location, if you have multiple locations, use a follow-up text and ask for the hometown or the zip code of the person so you can get them to the right place. Don't use 2-word keywords. Again, lawnmower is the example, all right? Autocorrect really can wreak havoc and send the wrong keyword right when somebody hits send. For restaurants, our experience in the past has been buy one, get one free, or kids eat free offers. If Hispanics are in your target, or if they are your target, reserve the Spanish equivalent for your keyword. Entice new opt-ins with a reward. These are the hardest people to get. You opt in for the first time, so you want to reward them well. Oh, I don't want to give away all that food. Well, why not? If you give it to 100 people who say, you get to market to me more and more and more in my pocket, why wouldn't you want to give them something great to get them in the door the first time? Don't send during traditional commute times. You don't want somebody looking at their phone when they are driving. Now, we're not commuting as much, but try to skip. In Des Moines, I'd say 7 to 8:30 and 4:30 to 6. And also, if you're doing text for business to business, this is genius. Send the message 3 minutes before the hour when people are waiting for their next meeting to start. Okay, and then my smiling face, right? An old picture of my smiling face. This is my new one. So, all right.
Awesome.
Very nice to see you guys. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much for having us. And
Thank
Barb.
I look forward to seeing you again in person, all right?
Yes. Thank
Thank
you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye now.